Welcome, everyone. This is the Linguasphere Academy podcast, and I'm Alex.
And I'm Sam. We are so happy you're here with us today. If you're learning English, you know that feeling when a conversation just clicks. When you're not just exchanging information, you're really connecting. That's what we want for you.
Exactly. And one of the fastest, most natural ways to get there is by talking about travel. It's a topic that's full of life, full of stories, and it comes up all the time. So today, we're just going to have a chat about that, about all the different ways we talk about travel in English.
We're going to cover a lot, but we'll take it step by step. From the simple questions you get asked at a party to telling a really good story about a trip, to dreaming about your next adventure. We want you to walk away feeling ready for that next conversation.
So let's just dive in. Where should we start, Sam?
I think we should start with that classic moment. You meet someone new, maybe at a friend's house or at a conference, and after "what do?" the next question is almost always,
Have you been traveling anywhere interesting lately? Or any fun trips planned? It's like the universal follow-up.
it really is. And there's a reason for that. It's a safe topic, but it's also a personal one. The answer tells you a little bit about someone's personality. Do they like adventure, relaxation, culture, food? And because it's usually a positive topic, it gets a conversation off to a good start.
So let's say someone asks you that. Been anywhere interesting lately? A simple good answer is something like, yeah, actually, I just got back from Portugal. It was amazing. That's perfect. You've answered, you've given a topic, and you've shown enthusiasm.
And then almost always the other person will say, "Oh, nice. What did you think?" Or "How was it?" And this is your moment. This is where you can move from a simple answer into something more engaging. This is where you start to paint a picture.
Right. Instead of just saying, it was good, you can add a little color. You can say, it was so beautiful. The coastline was just stunning. Or, it was really vibrant. The cities were so full of life. Or even, honestly, it was exactly what I needed. Just really peaceful and relaxing.
And then you can add one specific detail. Just one. That's the key. You don't need to tell the whole story yet. Just one thing that stood out. The food was incredible, especially the seafood. Or the people were unbelievably friendly. That one detail makes it real and gives the other person an easy way to ask another question.
Exactly. It's like you're handing them the next question. If you say the food was great, they can ask, oh, what did you eat? If you say the people were friendly, they might ask, did you get to talk to many locals?
So that's the basic start. But let's say the conversation keeps going. They're really interested. Now you might want to tell a little more. This is where it helps to think about the different parts of a trip, where you stayed, what you did, what you saw, and use words that are a bit more descriptive.
For example, instead of just, we stayed in a hotel, you could say, we found this lovely little guest house right in the old town, or we rented a small apartment near the beach. Guest house and apartment are more specific than hotel, and lovely little or right in the old town gives a feeling.
For activities, instead of just "we saw the sights," you could say "we did a lot of wandering around the city, just exploring." Wandering is a great word. Or "we spent a day hiking in the hills outside the city." Hiking is more specific than walking.
And when you describe a place, try to use the vocabulary of the senses. What did it look like, sound like, feel like? You might say, the main square was always bustling, especially in the evening. Bustling is a wonderful word for a place that's busy and energetic.
Or "the mountain view was absolutely breathtaking." Breathtaking is much stronger than beautiful. If a place was quiet, you could say it was tranquil or serene.
And this is important. It's okay to talk about things that weren't perfect, too. In fact, it can make your story more relatable and funny. You can say things like, it was amazing, but it was so touristy in the city center. Or, we had a bit of a disaster on the first day. Our flight was delayed by 6 hours.
Those small problems often become the best stories later. Using phrases like "a bit of a disaster" or "a little mishap" sounds natural and shows you can laugh about it. You're not just giving a perfect postcard, you're giving a real experience.
Now, a lot of travel talk isn't just about the past. It's about the future. People love to talk about their dreams and plans, so you'll often hear questions like, "Where's next on your list?" or "Do you have any trips coming up?"
How you answer this depends on how sure your plans are. If you've booked everything, you can use the present continuous. I'm actually going to Thailand in December. That sounds excited and definite.
If you're planning but haven't booked, you can use going to. I'm going to look at trips to Japan next year, or I'm thinking of going to Japan. That shows intention.
And if it's more of a dream, you can use would love to or I'd really like to. I'd love to visit Iceland one day to see the northern lights. That's a classic dream answer.
And when you describe a future trip, you can use the same descriptive language. I'm not looking for a busy city break. I really want a quiet beach holiday where I can just unwind and read. Using unwind there is perfect. It means to relax completely.
So, we've talked about past trips and future trips, but there's a whole other side to this, which is talking about how you like to travel, your travel style. This is a fantastic way to express your personality.
You might say, "I'm a bit of a planner. I like to have everything booked in advance." Or the complete opposite. "I'm much more spontaneous when I travel. I prefer to just show up and see what happens."
Some people say, I'm a real foodie, so I plan my trips around restaurants and markets. You hear that a lot. Or, I'm not much of a beach person. I'd rather be exploring museums and historical sites.
You can also say things like, "I prefer to travel slowly and really get to know one place." That's a very popular idea these days. Or, "I like to get off the beaten track if I can." That means to go away from the tourist spots.
All of this language helps you build a more complete picture for the person you're talking to. You're not just telling them facts, you're sharing a bit of your perspective on the world.
Now, let's put a lot of this together. Let's imagine a short, natural conversation between two people who've just met at a party.
We'll call them Lena and Ben.
Let's listen to them.
So, Ben, have you done much traveling?
Yeah, a fair bit. I actually just got back from a trip to Morocco a couple of months ago.
Oh, wow, I've always wanted to go. How was it?
It was incredible, really intense and eye-opening. Marrakesh is so vibrant, the colors, the smells, the noise. It's full on, but in a good way.
That sounds amazing. Was it very touristy?
The main square is, absolutely. But we hired a guide for a day to take us into the Atlas Mountains, and that was completely different. So peaceful and rugged. It felt like the real Morocco.
I love that, getting off the beaten path.
Exactly. What about you? Any big travel plans?
Well, I'm going to Italy with my family this summer. It'll be chaotic with the kids, but I can't wait for the food.
Did you hear how that flowed? Ben started with a simple answer, then added descriptive words like incredible, intense, eye-opening, vibrant, full on. He talked about a specific contrast, the busy city versus the peaceful mountains, and he used that great phrase, getting off the beaten path.
And Lena's part was great too. She asked a natural follow-up question. Was it very touristy? And when she talked about her own plans, she was honest about it being chaotic, but focused on what she was excited about, the food. It was a real, balanced conversation.
So, our biggest piece of advice is this. Don't feel like you have to be perfect or tell a huge, epic story every time. Start small. Have a few phrases ready. For a past trip, it was absolutely stunning. I loved the food, people, and landscape. For a future trip, I'm dreaming of going to because I love to see. For your style, I think I'm more of a city, beach, or mountain person.
Practice those. Say them out loud when you're alone. The goal is to get comfortable so that when the moment comes, you're not searching for words, you're just sharing an experience.
And remember, the person you're talking to is probably just as happy to have a good conversation as you are. They want to hear about your trip. Your experience is interesting to them.
That's really it. Travel conversations are gifts. They let us share little pieces of the world with each other. And with a bit of practice, you can do that smoothly and confidently in English.
We hope this chat has given you some useful ideas and phrases to try.
Thanks so much for listening to the Linguasphere Academy podcast. If you enjoyed it, please follow or subscribe. We'll be back soon with more chats about natural, everyday English.
Until next time, take care and happy talking.
Bye for now.